Most men are trapped not by circumstances, but by their dependence. Right? They're dependent on approval, dependent on security, dependent on being liked, accepted, praised. Right? We spend our lives waiting for the green light from someone else, a boss, a family member, a friend, a wife, whoever, to tell them it's okay to move. Right? And this is the thing. The man who depends on no one can be stopped by no one. Right, and just let that sink in for a minute. Because see, self-reliance isn't a bonus skill, right? It's the bedrock of true freedom, mentally, spiritually, financially, physically. And if you want to become dangerous in the best way, you must remove the need for external permission. Right? Because every powerful man who's ever created something in his life, they have these things in common, right? They made their own way, they trusted their own judgment, they moved without waiting for applause, and they built their lives not on permission, but by conviction. Okay, Marcus Aurelius didn't need the Roman Senate's approval to govern with wisdom and discipline. He ruled himself first. And I'll bring you an even more modern one, 50 Cent, right? And, love him or hate him, I think he's a great example of self-reliance. He didn't wait for the music industry to discover him. He sold CDs out the trunk of his car until people couldn't ignore him. And look what he's created now, a multi-million dollar empire, right? But the world belongs to the men who stop asking and start moving. And that's what today we're going to talk about: radical self-reliance, and it's the foundation for true masculine power, and how to start reclaiming it. Okay? Because see, this awakening, this what we're going through right now in this world, I believe, this awakening isn't about finding peace. It's about reclaiming your primal power. It's not about following some guru or spiritual trend. It's about radical ownership. Okay, declaring absolute sovereignty over every aspect of your existence and ripping your authentic self back from every person, institution, and belief system that's feeding off your chi, your life force. Right? True spirituality for a man isn't about surrendering, it's about conquering. And I'm not talking about conquering others. I'm talking about conquering the weaknesses within that keep you trapped in a life you were not designed for. Right? The awakened savage doesn't seek comfort. He seeks absolute truth, absolute ownership, and the raw power that comes from standing naked in your authentic self and nature. Okay, and if there's one thing I know about self-reliance, that the universe ain't going to hand it to you. You have to earn it, and earn it the hard way. Right? Because most of my life I waited for someone to believe in me, waited for the right opportunity, waited for the perfect time where everything felt safe. Right? Deep down, I wanted someone to come along and hand people my permission and tap me on the shoulder and say, Lachlan, you're good enough now, you're ready, you can start. Guess what? That moment never came. And if you're honest, you know it hasn't came for you either. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to crown you. Right, and I learned this several times the hard way. My life collapsed, bankruptcy, addiction, prisons, failures. I hit the ground so many times, I don't know how I ever got back up. Okay? I had no safety net, no secret backup plan, just me and the choice to continue to push forward or to quit. And that's why I have never failed in life, because I've never quit. I've just kept moving no matter how bad it's got. I've just kept pushing forward. Right? Even when I first had this vision for my YouTube channel, I sat on it for years. Right? Not because I didn't want it, I actually wanted it more than anything, but because I was still looking for validation outside of myself. Will people think I'm crazy? What if I fail? Maybe I need to learn more first. Maybe I need to go and take this course on YouTube. Maybe I need to take that course and learn this and learn that. Nah, bullshit. All of it was just bullshit. Right? Just fear wearing a mask. Okay, and the turning point didn't come when someone gave me permission. Right? It was actually when I stopped waiting for permission altogether. And it was one of these moments where you lie awake at 3 o'clock in the night and your head's just going to the most horrific things and thoughts, and is this all life is all about, and there's got to be more than this, and I started to think about mortality, that I'm 46 and how fast the last 25 years, and I was like, oh my God, before you know it, I'll be dead. I don't have long left, and it was all these fears and thoughts, and I was like, oh shit, and that scared me more than failure could ever scare me. right? If I died tomorrow, I would die with everything, all my gifts still here inside, and I would not have shared that with anyone, right? So I decided no more waiting, no more asking, no more begging for the world to see me, right? I would build the thing that I was called to build, even if there was no one there to watch it, right? Because I came into this with full-heartedly understanding that I might not get any views, any subscribers, anything, but I done it anyway, and I was doing it regardless, because I believe I'm called to do this. And even if no one understood, because when I spoke to my wife about this, she wasn't sure. You know, we've got young kids, and if I was talking about spirituality and masculinity, and people run about us, they still think that's all woo-woo crazy stuff. And she was scared of judgment and this, that. But I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going for it. I feel called to do this, and even if I have to stand alone for a while, I'm so grateful right now. I've got 74 subscribers, and that's more than I could have asked for. Right? But it's the point is, I show up here every day. Like this week, I have been so ill, and I've had no energy. I've hardly been sleeping. But you know what? I committed to this, and see, when I commit to something, I do it. I do not quit. So I'm showing up every single day, every day for 75 days, and it might be longer. Depends how I feel after it. Right? Because see, real men, they don't wait to be chosen. They choose themselves first. And this is it, brother. You choose yourself first. Okay? Because today isn't about becoming something different. It's about stepping into your true power, claiming that savage, self-reliant force that's already within you, underneath all the fear, the doubt, the guilt, the shame. You don't need more approval. You need more action. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to start, forging that unstoppable inner belief, inner trust. Self-reliance isn't some nice idea. It's a spiritual principle. It's a psychological maturity. It's a biological necessity. Across all the ancient traditions, you'll hear them, right? And they'll say something along the lines of, "You were never meant to outsource your power." Lao Tzu, he said, at the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are, and you know what you want, right? And that is the truth. I've got the book there, The Art of War. I don't know what it is, but it's there. Okay. And Jesus, he went to the desert, right? Not to be abandoned, but to be fortified. He didn't need external validation. He needed internal alignment. Buddha, didn't get enlightened because someone told him how he sat and how great he was, and what he done and this, that. No, he sat alone under the tree for 49 days, facing his own mind until he mastered it. Every spiritual system, stripped of dogma, tells you the same thing. Everything you seek is already inside you. Right? But most men don't get it. Okay? Psychologically, the modern world conditions us to depend on everything but ourselves. They want to keep us weak. The matrix society wants men to be weak. Think about it. Toxic masculinity and all this bullshit. Right? Competition, there's no winners with taking part trophies. Fuck that. Right? We're programmed to crave likes, followers, money, validation, shiny objects, anything external to feel whole. No, it's time to go inside, right? And there was a 2020 study from the Journal of Behavioral Neuroscience, right? And what they said was that social validation, right, activates the brain's reward center for the same way that drugs do. So approval literally becomes a drug. And then dependency creeps in even without you knowing it. So the more you chase external validation, the weaker your self-trust becomes. The louder the outside world gets, the quieter your own voice gets. Right? So when you're constantly seeking approval, your nervous system locks into this hypervigilance, the same survival mode that triggers physical danger. Your body doesn't know the difference between fighting for your life and fighting for someone else's attention. Right? And over time, this kills your ability to hear your intuition, to trust your gut, your instincts, to act from your power, your grounded power. Right? Your savage, the one who moves decisively, who leads, who builds, he gets buried under fear and hesitation. But when you cut the need for external permission, when you go within, when you choose yourself without waiting, your biology reverses. Dopamine levels stabilize, cortisol drops, prefrontal cortex activation, the seat of decision making and self-trust increases dramatically. Okay, because people who practice self-validation, right, they do this simply every single day, right? They remind themselves of their own worth without any external input. what happens is they have greater resilience under stress, higher confidence when they're having to make decisions, right? And lower anxiety. So self-reliance isn't just a mindset. It's actually a biological upgrade. It's the forge where these real savages are built spiritually, psychologically, you know. Sorry, I've got this throat here. Yeah, spiritually, psychologically, physiologically. When you stop looking out there, when you start choosing in here, you don't just survive, you become unstoppable. And in a world of men still waiting for permission, the man who moves from self-reliance is already untouchable. And that is you, brother. So, how do we build this unbreakable self-reliance? Okay, self-trust isn't built through books and theory. It's built in battle, in action. It's not about waiting until you feel ready. It's not about reading another book or watching another YouTube video or podcast. It's about proving to yourself daily that you can be counted on. Repetition, execution, ownership. These are the weapons that create the savage. Okay, so how do we start this? Right, let's go. Number one, right? So just have a daily micro commitment ritual. Right, train your mind to see yourself as a finisher. Right, and this doesn't have to be big, massive. That's why it's called micro commitment ritual. Every morning, set one small non-negotiable commitment. Right, not 10, not 50, one. Right, example: 10 minutes meditation, 2 minutes cold shower, 5 push-ups when you wake up. The moment you wake up, no phone for the first 60 minutes. Doesn't matter what it is. One micro commitment. Right. It's not about the task. It's about the muscle. Every time you finish something you promised yourself you would finish, right, no matter how small, you wire self-trust deeper into your nervous system, right? So the savage doesn't need motivation. He moves because he said he would. So that's a challenge. Choose your micro commitment tonight, today, set it and hit it, repeat it for 30 days without fail, okay? Number two, right? Decision, speed reps, right? Indecision is the graveyard of potential. Okay, every day practice rapid decision making on small things. What workout to do, what to eat for lunch, what tie to put on, what project to tackle first, right? Because we have a thing called decision fatigue. We only have so many decisions we can make a day, right? And it literally drains our energy. So set a timer for 30 seconds, decide and move, or even 15 seconds, right? So give yourself, I would say we'll start with 30 seconds to make the next 10 decisions today. No second guessing, just go for it, right? And this is you training your brain again. Okay, number three, silence before seeking, right? Reclaim your own voice from the noise. Before you ask for advice, before you text a friend, before you jump on Google or YouTube, sit in silence for 3 minutes and ask yourself, what do I already know? What does my gut say? If I fully trusted myself, what would I do? Okay, so for the next week, before seeking any advice, sit in silence. Get your answer from you. Then seek confirmation if you truly need it. Self-trust is a practice. It's built by honouring your wisdom. And believe me, you know everything already, right? You know it. You're just remembering it. Okay, number four, the audit, the ownership audit. Right, so this is when you shift from victim thinking to savage thinking. Every night, ask yourself two questions. Where did I act from my power today? Where did I give my power away today? Two simple questions. No judgment, just ownership. Right? So start an ownership journal. 2 bullet points each night. Right? Watch how fast you stop tolerating your own bullshit excuses. The savage does not blame, complain, or explain. He owns it. Win, lose, or draw. Doesn't matter. He owns it. Okay? Last one. Sovereignty practice, right? Move without permission. This is where you rewire your nervous system to act without external validation. Every single day, do one thing without asking for approval, permission, or feedback. It can be small things, right? Post your thoughts online without editing them. Start a new business page on Facebook or whatever. Message that mentor that you wanted to work with. Apply for that job. Sign up for that challenge. Whatever it is, right? Just do one action per day. No permission, no apology, just move yourself, right? The more that you move without checking if it's okay, the more you reclaim your own primal sovereignty and power, right? These aren't tips, these aren't hacks, these are weapons. These are daily practices that rewire your biology, sharpen your mind, and reconnect you to the savage, the truth within. You are enough when you decide you are. You are powerful when you choose to be. You are free the moment you stop asking for permission. Okay? You were never, ever supposed to wait for permission to rise to your power. Right? The world doesn't need another weak man waiting to be chosen. He needs the men who choose themselves. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to give you a gold star, a permission slip, a now you're ready certificate. You already are. The moment you decide to back yourself, the moment you stop asking, the moment you move because you know that you're ready, not because you're told that it's okay. Right? The moment you step out of the herd, the moment you step into your savage, the world has enough men sitting in circles, crying about their wounds, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for permission, waiting to feel ready. But you're being called to something higher, to move while you're scared, to lead while you're doubting, to rise while you're bleeding. Right? Because that's what leaders do. That's what warriors do. That's what men of spirit, fire, and sovereignty have always done. The awakened savage doesn't whine, he doesn't wait, he doesn't beg, he builds, he moves, he creates, he trusts. Not because it's easy, because it's who he chose to become. Don't get this twisted, right? You don't get a magic pass here. You don't get self-trust handed to you. You forge it, right? And this happens one rep at a time, one choice at a time, one stand at a time. And every time you choose yourself over comfort, every time you move without applause, every time you honour your instincts over the noise, you move a step closer to becoming the man you were always meant to be. Unshakable, unstoppable, unapologetically you. Okay, this is not the time to hesitate or the time to flinch. This is the time to step forward, the time to plant your flag. This is the time to carve your path through the wilderness, even if no one sees it yet. Because this is the thing, bro. You are not here to be understood by the masses. You are here to be remembered by the few who dare to rise. Now stand up, face the music, face the storm, and move like the weapon you are created to be. Yeah, so we don't wait, we act. And if this message hit home and hit you in the chest, if something inside of you is waking up right now, then this is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Right, this is what I recommend that you do. Right, drop a comment below and just say, I choose myself. Not for me, for you, declare it. Carve it into your reality. Draw the line in the sand. Right, step 2, pick one of the actions that moves you towards your vision. Right, without asking, waiting, or second guessing. One step, one rep, one move. Right, the savage is built in motion. Okay, step number 3, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Okay, that's just a little quick plug. But anyway, I'm being serious because here I want to build, a community of men like you where we can forge it together. This channel is going to be a brotherhood for men who are done outsourcing their power, men who are ready to reclaim their mind, body, and spirit. Okay, and move through the world like the warriors they were meant to be. So if you know a brother who needs to hear this message, send him this video. Be the mirror that calls him back to his power. Because self-trust is not given, it's chosen, it's earned, it's lived, and today is the day you start living it. Stay sharp, stay sovereign, stay savage, and I'll see you on the next one. I love you guys. Have a great day. I've got another video for you here, and you can subscribe here. Take care. Bye.